What's poppin', y'all? This is Deidre with One Shot Game, man. You already know how the motto go. You get one shot at life, but a lifetime to learn all the game you need to help improve your life. The choice is yours on, you know what I'm saying, where you end up. You may have started out on a destined path, but you can end up somewhere completely different just basically off your mindset. You know what I'm saying? So before I get into the title of this video, I want to give a big shout out to all my supporters. So look, listen, it ain't even late. It's kind of early still, but you know it's going into that season where it get dark really early. I kind of like it. I love the fall time and the winter time, but I'm born smack dead in the middle of summer. It's crazy. But anyway, this title of the video, because you know I give it to y'all however it come to me, and it's just on don't be afraid to walk away. Don't be afraid to step outside of the box and go in a different direction. You know what I'm saying? Oftentimes we hold on to those emotions that keep us trapped in situations or keep us around people that we know we have outgrew. And it's no ill will, no bad vibes, no disrespect. You know what I'm saying? Because again, I wouldn't be where I am today if I didn't grow through that area of my life. But at the same time, you can kind of tell, you know what I'm saying, what's still for you and what's not. If you're talking and you're having conversations and you're trying to pull yourself out of the life you've been living and people steadily don't say nothing, and they're constantly, you know what I'm saying, trying to hang on to you and get you back into that old way of thinking, get you back into that old life, that's because they are having a hard time growing. And they, you know what I'm saying, are doing whatever they can to try to drag you back down. And it's kind of almost like a very strong evil manipulative tactic, because they don't want to do what it takes to grow, and they don't want to see you grow, especially coming from a person that like has a big heart, is always there for people, always around, always there when you need something. You know what I'm saying? They have a harder time getting rid of those people, because a lot of people in the world, the only way that you can get them to be dedicated and loyal to you is you got to be giving and doing something, versus the people that are genuinely like that. But it comes to a point in time that in order to keep myself healthy, keep myself safe, and I'm pretty sure it speaks for a lot of others, you have to be willing to make that judgment call on your life. Because at the end of the day, your life only matters really to you. People are gonna do what's best for them. People are gonna make changes that fits them. People are gonna make choices that fits them. Now, don't get me wrong, it is some people in life that are aware of, you know what I'm saying, making choices for themselves, but being able to also be aware of how their choices affect other people that they care about. Oftentimes, a lot of people don't have that two-way thinking. It's only a one-way thinking street. You know what I'm saying? But again, going back to what I was saying, it doesn't even have to be physical. Those people that are still attached to you, that still want to try to keep you trapped in your old way of thinking, will have a strong pull on your mind mentally. You know what I'm saying? It'll be times where you have a certain set of memories or thoughts, and that is because that person is also, you know what I'm saying, thinking about you at the same time. And it's not, you know what I'm saying, to judge anybody or hold anybody back, but oftentimes they are appreciative of what you may have brung to, you know what I'm saying, their life. And now that you have elevated and grew out of whatever, you know what I'm saying, scenarios and situations, it's kind of like, damn, you know what I'm saying? Some people will miss their train. Like, as bad as you want them to have it, as bad as you want them to go with you, they will miss their train simply because it is not time yet, because they're still going through some karmic debt that they have to solve and resolve. And you have to understand that emotionally, because when you are ready to let go of certain people and places, you are now healing something inside yourself that you have been dealing with for a long time, for you to be emotionally okay to fully move on and dedicated to the other side of yourself is where you're trying to grow to. You know what I'm saying? But it's not easy, and it takes trial and error. Sometimes you find yourself holding on to people and situations knowing that they're not good for you, but it's something inside of you that they're mirroring to you that you have been operating in for so long that it's kind of like hard for you to let it go. I dealt with that for a minute, you know what I'm saying, with some people. It was hard, but then it got to a point where you start to realize energetically that they're not in a space where they're gonna grow with you. They're in a space where their mentality is to hold you back so that you don't grow. And if you know what's good for you, and you know that, you know what I'm saying, you growing is good for you and good for, you feel me, your child, and good for, you know what I'm saying, anybody that comes along, because you're just so tired of the old life you've been living that you're ready to elevate and grow and see what's on the other side, you have to be willing to take that leap of faith. I had someone, you know what I'm saying, that I damn near walked my whole experience with. And every time I mentioned something, you know what I'm saying, as far as growing out of that old way of living, I didn't realize it until now that it was nothing said, nothing responded. It was all about, you know what I'm saying, trying to keep me stuck, trying to keep me in place of where I've always lived. And if you really think about it for the long haul, it's kind of like, I'm tired of this shit. Excuse my language. I know you tired of it. You know what I'm saying? So why not take the necessary steps to grow? And that is because at the end of the day, you just got to be mindful and aware that whatever stage of karmic debt they're in could be going back way a long time. And personally, they can hold the responsibility of trying to break the generational curse, but they're too comfortable, or they're too afraid of what will happen if they jumped out the box. So they're okay with what they're trying to do and where they are. But you know what I'm saying? It's scary to see you move on, because they never thought it would be you. They thought it was going to be them before you. However, because they see it differently. People see, you know what I'm saying, dang, this person is elevating, you know what I'm saying, what comes next. We see the light on them they never seen on themselves. Now that they finally seen it on themselves, they're taking a road that we never wanted them to go. You know what I'm saying? So we're going to do whatever we can to try to hold them back. And you don't even have to, you know what I'm saying, be around them people physically. You can just catch the vibe. You know what I'm saying? Telepathy between humans is very real, whether people want to believe it or not. And it's basically mirroring something to you that you have been holding on to for so long. And when you finally get to a space in your life where you're ready to let that emotion or that attachment or that cord go, it's nothing to understand it, let it flow through, process it, let it go. It's time to move on. You know what I'm saying? Listen, I can almost bet your last dollar that a lot of the people that I associated with in my past life are ready to move on as well. It's just, it's an emotion. It's a cord wrapped too tight. It's you know what I'm saying, a programming. It's something that they're not ready to yet face, or they haven't decoded, or they're not ready to adjust to. You know what I'm saying? Even though they've knocked down barriers, they got it, they ready. It's just something that's holding them back. You know what I'm saying? And listen, that's it's hard. It's not easy, especially when you've been operating in a certain mind frame for so long that you finally have to let it go. It's difficult. And listen, if you're the type of person that you understand what it feels to have certain emotions, you never want to make somebody else feel those emotions. So you do your best to try to not let those people feel those emotions, especially if you care about them. But that, I'm just gonna be honest with y'all, that phase is over, because those people are gonna do what's best for them when the time comes for them to make a decision. You know what I'm saying? If they're really for you and they really care about you, they will be understanding of the fact it's time that you are now ready to elevate. It's calling your name, and you can no longer associate or be in environments where people are not willing to change. Personally, if I love someone and I know I'm still stuck behind, I'm going to let you go. As bad as it's gonna hurt, as much as it's gonna hurt my feelings, I love you enough to let you go. I do not want you to stay stuck somewhere where you're unhappy or you're spiritually killing yourself. You know what I'm saying? That to me is real love. Why would you not want that for someone that you know is, you feel me, you really care about? Why would you want to hold them back and spiritually stop them from elevating because you're not ready yet? That's not fair. That's not really someone caring about you. I don't care what the relation is, what the title is, none of that. You have to be willing to understand that when that other side of yourself that's gonna do new things and operate in a new way is calling you, it's almost imperative that at some point you got to answer that call, because it's going to keep calling you. You're going to feel unfit in situations. You're going to feel uncomfortable. You're going to feel like you stand out. You're going to feel like you're not supposed to be there, because it's a higher version of yourself that's calling you, that's telling you, hey, look. And that, to me, however people want to take it, is basically the universe, God talking to you, telling you, look, I'm telling you right now, this situation, this environment is not good for you. So if you keep going back, knowing that I'm giving you every intention inside your body to let you know it's not good for you, you got to be accepting of the karma and the consequences that come with it. You can't be asking me to step in and help elevate you in your life if you choose to still stay and do things that I'm basically telling you is no good for you. And that's where people get discouraged. That's where people start believing, oh, it ain't no God, it ain't nothing, it ain't this. Yes, it is. You know what I'm saying? I believe, personally, my own beliefs, it's the universe. We're all connected through the trees, through the water, through the dirt. You know what I'm saying? Listen, when I was a kid, I did mud pies. I swam hella good. I climbed up a tree one time and got stuck. Like, connected to all the elements. It's real. It's the truth. You know what I'm saying? Which means we're connected spiritually. So once the universe sees that you're making the necessary steps to evolve, the magic will happen. But if you just getting mad because you upset at the way your life is, but you're not willing to make no changes, you still battling with the devil, you know what I'm saying? It still got you in a tongue tied over there in that situation, plainly solely because your emotions is invested. You know what I'm saying? You care more about what people think and feel versus your own. I refuse. I just cannot sit in that seat anymore. I can't. You know what I'm saying? Because after all the buildup of pain and hurt that you feel me, felt when people just put me last, you know what I'm saying, did me any type of way, looked at me as less than, you know what I'm saying, put other people before me, you know what I'm saying? And listen, it's not mapped out for a person to have to put you first, but it's kind of almost the way I think. When I care about people, I'm gonna include you, period, solely if I care about you. My choices and how I dictate life is gonna be because, you feel me, I care about y'all as a group, or a certain person as a group. I'm not gonna leave you out. You know what I'm saying? But because I felt that for a lot of years from everybody, it gave me a clearer understanding that you can never pour too much into someone, hoping, wishing, and praying that it stops you from your own growth. I don't care who it is. Your kids, your mama, your daddy, your auntie, your sisters, brothers, cousins, doesn't matter. Because when they're faced with a certain choice or decision, they're going to do what's best for them. And oftentimes people will show you over the course of time if they're willing to be open and making decisions with you included, or making decisions for themselves. I think that's what separates people being narcissistic versus having narcissistic traits. At some point, you do got to think about yourself, but then at some point, people have the ability to, you know what I'm saying, include others. And because I know I'm like that, I know I'm that type of person, I've been shown over and time again how when it came down to it, I was left out. So for me to be able to depend on me and grow, hey, I'm making a personal choice for myself. That's just what it is. After all this time of not feeling confident of making personal choices for myself, because I've always cared about what other people would think and how they would feel, it's now time that I care about how I feel. And that's more important because it's not where I started at in life, it's where I'm trying to go. You know what I'm saying? So I have to be able to put me first, which means it is a lot of times where, you feel me, in order to change, you have to sit in the place where you can change. Because if you put yourself in scenarios around certain people that have the same programming, they're not ready, or they're judging you because you've outgrown or because they're still stuck, you're going to be able to feel that energy, and your body is going to cause a reaction that's telling you this is not for you. You should not be here. Why are you here? And that'll stop your growth every day. The more you keep doing that. You know what I'm saying? I've now transformed myself to be in a mind where everything is destined. Everything happens for a reason. So I'm no longer sitting in the mode of, oh, why this? Why? I don't do that. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm now realizing how the dominoes fall together and they all follow the line. You get what I'm saying? But you got to really think about how a lot of people have a hard time doing that because they're so comfortable and settled in their life that if you come in and disrupt whatever plan they got going on, oh, baby, listen, their energy will tell you in every way possible, I do not like you. I don't know why you came over here trying to disrupt the story. I don't know why you even over here trying to change the plan. I don't even know why, if you ain't even agreeing with us, why you even come over here. And it'll show you everything you need to know, and you'll be in your brain thinking like, why do I feel this way? It's because it's the truth. It's not a lie. You're trying to fit in somewhere where you don't belong anymore, and it's affecting you physically and mentally. So what you gonna do? The best space for any human being to be is a positive peace of mind, is a still peace of mind, not a brain that's filled with all type of thoughts that keep you constantly worrying and thinking and stressed out. And no, I did that for almost all my whole 34 years of living. I'm tired, and because I'm tired, I'm making a personal choice for myself. So for people out there that your body and your mind is basically talking to you. However people look at it, you could look at it as God, you could look at it as the universe, you could look at it as your higher self, whatever. But it's talking to you and it's telling you something, and it's saying, hey, look, that is no longer serving you anymore. I'm going to give you all these signs. Are you going to listen? Are you going to continue to keep sticking yourself in there, being uncomfortable because you're too worried about what someone else thinks, how someone else feels? Now be prepared for the karma, be prepared for the consequences, because I've talked to you, and I let you know, hey, this is not it, and you still keep sticking yourself there. So you got to be aware of what's to come. And then if you are so upset with how it is, you're going to keep being upset with how it is because you're not taking the necessary steps to get yourself out of the equation. Simple as that. If you cannot depend on yourself most when you are in a situation, who are you depending on? The universe? God, Allah? Okay, I get it. You know what I'm saying? But that means also listening to your higher version of yourself. Your body doesn't lie. If you want to take it in a different direction, you know what I'm saying? I'm all for people believing in certain higher powers and what they believe. But me personally, I have a different view of it. And I believe that your higher version of yourself, which is you that is experiencing a higher version of yourself, of experiencing life, not doing and operating in the things that you always grew accustomed to, when you get in a scenario or a situation or environment that's still used to the old programming, your body, your mind, everything will let you know you are not supposed to be there. You are feeling uncomfortable for a reason. People call it God, people call it the universe, your higher self, whatever. I call it a version of myself that I've never got to experience because I was too mind boggled with what I was in. So now it's like, what is stopping me from listening to this higher version of myself? Which means if I feel uncomfortable, if I'm not supposed to be there, if my mind says any inkling, intuition, this is not it, what are you doing? This is not cool. I'm out of there, and I'm never gonna return again, because that is me being aware of the fact that I've been in that for a long time, and the only person that was stressed out and mind boggled was me. So I'm gonna take a trip over here with this person, which is going to be able to tell me and give me an inkling when it is time for me to elevate and move on out of that situation. So, you feel me? Personally, me, I don't do too much, you feel me, kicking it and chilling, because people really want it too, but mentally they're just not ready. So they'll do everything they can to try to stop you. They'll do everything they can to be a smooth talker, try to make it seem like it's this. But once you get in the car or you get with someone, they can switch the game up. Have you thinking that you thought this what it was on the phone. You feel me? But when you get with them, they switch the whole thing up. Now you got yourself in a situation you ain't ready for. So just pay attention and be aware. The signs will be there, clear as day, let you know, listen, that ain't it. They're either playing both sides or they're over there, they're finessing you. You know what I'm saying? And you become more prevalent of what is for you and what's not. But you have to be able to understand. People take it as God, the universe, talking to them. When you have a feeling in your body, when you have a thought that's telling you not supposed to be in a certain situation, that's God talking. But I say it's the universe, higher version of yourself. So if you want to elevate and you want more out of life because you're tired of your old life, you have to listen to that. You have to listen to that intuition and what it's telling you. Most people ignore it because they're too comfortable in what they're doing and where they're at, and that's on them. But in order for you to grow, you have to realize that and keep it pushing. You know what I'm saying? Because they'll do whatever they can to try to suck you back in. And you just have to be able to apply the wisdom of how they always been, and know that, listen, this is a trick. They trying to trick me. You ain't, there's no way possible. You know what I'm saying? After all this time, you finally got down to the meat and potatoes and switched. Nah, because you're gonna know. You're gonna feel it. Your intuition is gonna tell you when it's sincere and when it's not sincere. After all the years of having to deal with the same thing. You feel me? So again, this video was just something I had to get out, and it's just me realizing that I understand that people grow, some people don't. And like I heard a video from Snoop Dogg that said it's a gap. You will grow and people will be down here. In order to close the gap, they want you to come back down here. No, absolutely not. To close the gap, you're going to have to come up here. And oftentimes people are just not able. They are just not ready to let go of their old programming. And then you have some people that step out on the ledge, but oftentimes not. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of like for you to be able to have a different way of thinking and actually step on the ledge and not care what anybody thinks or thought. You feel me? And just go through life doing what's best for you. Oftentimes people are scared. They're not going to take that route because they're still too stuck in what people are going to say. They're insecure inside themselves. They're worried about people's thoughts. I personally don't give a damn. You know what I'm saying? Because after all the years of me going through situations with people, putting last on a pedestal, having people intentionally shoot darts at me, it was kind of like, what do I got to lose? Nothing. Because if the ball drop on my head tonight, if I don't move, then it's going to fall on my head, right? But y'all going to be long gone. You feel me? It's kind of like putting the wisdom of how people be acting all your life and then applying it to where you're trying to go to now, because it was all set up and designed like that so that you'll be willing and prepared and understanding to take that wisdom and move forward. So for the people out there that's struggling because you don't want people to feel the feelings, or you know what I'm saying, you don't want to hurt people, it's something inside of you that's keeping you connected to that. You either don't want to hurt yourself or you don't want people to hurt you, that you're too afraid to let go. But that very thing that you're holding on to is stopping you from your progress, which is the other side of your life you've been living. It is okay to let them go. It is okay to answer the call of your higher self no matter what. People that really love you and care about you are going to let you go. Period. They're just going to understand they're not ready yet, and that's fine. So listen, if you don't know what it is, I just told you. Please make sure you like, comment, share, and subscribe.